This is Bass Sculptor from Impact Soundworks, and what it lets you do is, of course, sculpt the bass, or more accurately, sculpt the low end for any source. You can increase the low end or even tighten up the low end for, again, any source that you want. All of your tools are right here in one plugin. You have a subharmonic generator, a bass EQ, a bass compressor, and a bass imager. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. The first thing we'll do is come up here to the gear icon and resize the GUI. Let's make this a little bit larger. All right. And right now we're going to bypass that. All right. So listen to that kick drum here. Just that kick drum. Sounds kind of weak, right? So with Bass Sculptor, we turn this on and we can add more low end and more power to that kick drum. There we go. So let's set this up and see what we're doing over here. Let's start with the Subharmonic generator. Now, all of these different modules, you'll see that we have solo buttons for them and power buttons for each of these modules. So if you don't need something, go ahead and turn it off and save the CPU processing power. So the first thing we'll do is solo the Subharmonic generator so we can hear what is being added to this kick. All right, let's go ahead and up the amount so we can hear that. Okay. Change your cutoff so everything below that. I don't want it up here because then it's going to generate low end in this upper area. So pull it down around there. Set your attack. Okay. The decay. I don't want it to go on too long. Of course, your threshold. There we go. That's pretty good. Back off on the amount if you want. Take that off of solo. Okay, if I bypass that, back on, there we go. Got some more low end coming through there. Then for your EQ, you can switch the type here up to a linear phase if you want. We can cut out low end if you want, but I don't want to in this case. You can increase or decrease a frequency in here. So if something is resonating too much, we can pull that out, which is exactly what we're doing here. Okay. Bypass that. Back on. That's better. Over here on your bass imager, we can keep that low end mono. So anything under the crossover will be collapsed down to mono. Now you'll probably want to use the left setting, which is going to get rid of the right channel. And it will help with any phase issues, but you can try these other settings here as well. So I want to keep my low end, at least my extreme low end, more centered down the middle here. So we're going to image that. About there is pretty good. Very good. Then your compressor. So we'll set our crossover for where we want, the area we want to actually be compressed. And of course your threshold. Pull that down. You can see it right over here. Pull that down. So we start getting compression. Okay, and of course your ratio, just like any other compressor, to shape that. There we go. Then we have makeup gain, release, and of course your attack. Pull the attack down a bit. There we go. That's pretty good. Right there. All right, so we have shaped that low end pretty quickly here. Even faster if I wasn't talking through it the entire time. So again, I'll bypass it. Very weak. Very, very weak. Back on. There we go. Nice, powerful low end, powerful kick drum now. And it blends in much better with the rest of our track here. Again, bypass it. And back on. There it is, man. That hits much, much harder now. So you also have an A and a B setting. So let's come over here to the B setting. And this time, maybe we'll just try a preset. All right. Let's go for, I don't know, maybe kick fattener heavy over in our B setting. Let's check that out. All right, it's not bad. Bit of a different flavor. Adds a bit of low end with that sub generator. Okay, it's not bad. And I can always switch back to our A setting right there. Then of course you can decide which one you like. So you can quickly audition different flavors, different sounds with your A and your B setting. You know, if I bypass that, just sounds awful, just weak. That's not gonna bump any speakers at all, you know? There we go. So that is Bass Sculptor, super easy to use. Let's move on to a different sample here. So here we have, make sure I bypass that, a bass guitar. All right. Now in this case, I want this bass to be large. I want it to be huge and surrounding. So we'll use Bass Sculptor, specifically the Subharmonic generator, to generate some more low end, and then of course compress it and smooth it out a bit. Go ahead and turn that on. If you solo this Subharmonic generator, we already have this set up. Pretty simple to set up. Don't need to go through it again. Now in this case, I had that decay much longer because again, I wanted to sort of reverberate out, so to speak. I want it to continue on. Don't want it too short in this case, right? Nice and long. Have that release, have it stay on there for a while. Pulling in the amount. Of course, you can blend in however much you want of this. My cutoff here. Of course, I don't want to go up here in this case with that low end. Very cool. Now I also have an EQ on here where I'm really pulling out some of this mid. You don't have to do that. I could turn it off and it still sounds pretty good. But I want to get rid of more of that attack, which is why I'm pulling out this area right here. Right, just pulling some of that out. Then of course, compressing the ultra low end there. Not too much, because I want it to sound huge. I don't want to compress it too much. It's gonna squash it a bit too much. There we go. Much better. Again, if I bypass that. There we go, that's what I want. Very cool. But of course we can use this sort of in the opposite direction as well. Maybe I want to tighten something up or make something even sound thin if I want. So you can do that as well with Bass Sculptor, so bypass it. So this track already has more than enough low end, right? And in this case, what we're gonna do is just use the EQ and some compression here to tighten that up. Let's go ahead and just pull out some of that low end, thin it out a bit. And then this area, of course you can adjust your Q here. How wide is that bandwidth? Dip that out again. There we go. Then we have some compression on there to again smooth everything out. Very cool. Bypass it. Right. Again, don't get me wrong. This track sounds fine with all of the low end. I'm just showing you that you can, of course, tighten up things as well. But of course, it's not just things like kicks or drums or bass. It can really be anything from guitar to strings, even electric guitar. You know, chugged heavy rhythm guitar, piano, really whatever you want. So in this case, maybe I want to make a guitar sound like it has a bass playing along with it. All right. Again, we're going to use our Subharmonic generator here. Let me turn it on. Already have this set up. Not pulling in a whole lot of the amount this time. I just want to blend it, right? There we go. And then if I bypass it. Right. Sounds like a bass is playing along with that track. We'll do it up here as well and bypass that. So a fine sounding acoustic guitar track. But again, I want it to sound more like there's a bass playing along with that. There we go. Simple. Adjust it however you want. Don't want to generate up that high, so just that low end, just the bass end, you know. Rolling off a little bit of that extreme low end here. And of course, using my bass imager to keep that extreme low end coming down the middle. So we don't have phase issues in mono or later on, depending on what you're playing this back on. Of course, some compression, not a whole lot in this case. compress it a bit more. There we go. Decay is up, not too far. Listen to that. All right, I could make that shorter, but in this case, a little bit longer. Very good. There we go. Now, as long as you're listening on good speakers and not laptop speakers, you should hear what sounds like almost a bass playing along with our guitar. Super easy, super simple to set up here in Bass Sculptor. And again, it's not just not just your kicks, not just your bass, but also guitar, piano, strings. You can even try it with vocals if you want. Throw some subharmonic generation on that and create a cool effect, or even use it for sound design. So if you want to pick up Bass Sculptor for yourself, just head right over here. Of course, we'll have the link in the description below. Pick it up right over here. Again, it's VST, AU, and AAX, so it should work in every single DAW. There's more samples over here. Come over here, check them out, read more about it, watch the introduction video, and pick it up for yourself and sculpt your low end, sculpt your bass, man. Add some more low end with that subharmonic generator, tighten things up, image that bass so it plays back properly on mono systems or through PAs, and you don't end up having a bunch of phase issues. And of course, compress it, make it sound huge, squash it down, whatever you want to do. You can do it all right here in Bass Sculptor. Again, we'll have that link in the description below.